everybody that you meet on the mission has different things that they're battling with, or different experiences that they're going through, different perspectives that they bring.
All right, welcome back. Today in the studio, we have none other than Carson Campbell.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for coming, man. Man, I don't even know what to say with this guy. I'll tell you what, if you were on Carson's email list back in 2019, 2020, 2021, you did not skip on his email. The funniest stories, the best, one of the best writers. Like, set aside all of the funny things, you were just a great writer.
Thank you.
And so we are gonna hear from Carson today, hear about his mission, the things that he went through, the lessons that he learned. But yeah, Carson, maybe tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and maybe start off by talking about why you went on a mission.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, I'm Carson. Grew up Sandy, Utah, born and raised. Noah and I went to the same high school.
Yes, sir. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Hawks fly together.
Evidently. Yes, sir.
And the reason I went on a mission, I feel like boils down to me having good examples in my life. Both my parents served missions.
Cool.
My dad served in Washington, D.C., and my mom served in Hong Kong. And then I had an older sister also serve a mission in South Carolina.
Okay.
And so, yeah, growing up, I'd always hear their kind of mission experiences, their mission stories. And I wanted that for myself too.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew that the gospel was a good thing in my life, and that, you know, it comes to an age where you have to decide whether or not you want to share that with other people.
Yeah. And when was that for you?
For me, okay, it goes to junior year of high school.
Nice.
I was chatting with some friends once upon a time in a backyard, and I really just had the impression that I needed to figure out if this was like something that I wanted to do. And I've always been a big reader. And so I made that commitment that night that I was going to read all the standard works.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang. That's crazy.
Not in one night. I was
totally ready for you to just say the Book of Mormon.
No,
but if you're committing to the entire...
all the standard works.
Look at that.
All the good works, right, in this book.
That takes a while.
And I did the Old Testament last. And I'm going to be honest, I only did like the first 5 books of Moses.
Yeah.
But
it's a doozy.
And then I was like, you know what? I think I get it. And so I prayed after reading the standard works. Well, the Old Testament kind of.
The standard word.
Right, the standard word. And I prayed and didn't feel anything. And it was chill. Like, I felt fine about that.
Wow.
And so I started, it wasn't actually until I was on my mission, or right before my mission, when I got like an answer to that prayer. When there's I should have this scripture memorized off the top of my head, and I don't, because it's changed my life. It's in, it's 2 Thessalonians.
Okay.
3, maybe 30.
That's why you're not remembering it.
And man. I don't think that's actually the right
to the book.
The right scripture, but in that region, it says, "Hold fast that which is good." That's the scripture, the memorized scripture, not the actual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just felt in my heart like I've always known that this is good, and so it felt like a sufficient answer to my prayers. It wasn't like this huge thing, but it felt good. And so I went on my mission. I served in South Florida. My mission is called the Fort Lauderdale, Florida mission.
Okay.
And it covers the whole south half of Florida, cutting right across it, going over to Naples. We have Miami and Key West.
Yeah.
West Palm Beach and
the spots.
Yeah.
And that's like your second home now. You love that place.
Second home. I love Florida.
Have you been back?
I have a couple times.
That's sweet.
And it has been, super awesome. I love that place.
I want to ask you, there's an idea. I remember talking about this a lot on my mission, the motive behind doing something, and in this case, going on a mission, is one of three things, especially when we're talking about a mission, is there's the duty you feel, like kind of the pressure, responsibility.
Yeah.
So there's the duty, and then, or actually, I guess it starts with fear.
Okay. Yeah.
Fear being the motive,
Right.
not going on a mission, what that might do for you, the duty or responsibility to go on a mission, and then the love.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like starting your mission, you're getting out on your mission, filling out your mission papers, where were you on that? Did you feel kind of doing it out of fear, doing it out of responsibility, or?
Growing up, I think it was always in my family, it was an unspoken expectation that like I'd serve a mission. And so I feel like I wasn't like fearful of not serving a mission. Like if I wanted to, I know that if I didn't want to, my parents would have respected that decision and like it would have been fine. But I do think that starting my mission papers, I had more of that like duty. Like this is just something that I need to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting because you can start somewhere and then end up somewhere else. Because now when you get into the mission field, it's like, wait, I love these people. Yeah. I love being here. Yeah. I love doing this. And so it kind of
makes that.
Yeah.
No, that's so cool though. I want to ask too, something that I find myself asking, because a lot of people are in that same situation. I was in a similar situation where it's kind of an unspoken expectation, but I would argue that it's a good unspoken expectation.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, obviously it's a sensitive thing, and sacrificing 18 months to 2 years, it's like a huge commitment, but I think that there can be a healthy amount of pressure and peer pressure, be it from family members or friends going. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you had a healthy amount of pressure? Did you feel like that influenced your decision too much to the point where it wasn't your own? Or
I totally think that it was a healthy amount, because they obviously have their own experiences. They, meaning my parents, have their own experiences being on their missions, and they've seen how it's blessed their lives. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like wanting that good for their kids. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, look how this has blessed our lives, and still to this day blesses their lives. And so they want to give that to me. And I can see that now, whereas before the mission, I probably wouldn't have understood it the same. Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
So take me to your day one in, I guess let's start in the MTC, okay. Mexico MTC.
Yeah.
We were in the MTC together.
We were.
It was lit. We had like all the homies there. It was actually so fun. It
was awesome.
But how was the MTC for you getting there in Mexico?
I loved the MTC. So it actually starts, I left July 30th, 2019. And I made my family, we got dropped off at the airport because we didn't do like at-home MTC or anything. And I made my family eat Denny's with me at like 3 a.m.
Before you went?
Yeah, before I went.
Are you serious?
We all ate like those Grand Slam meals, and then I was off on my way. And I remember the travel day being really long. And I was trying to talk with like the other missionaries that like you meet up with. We flew to LAX, I think, and then we went to Mexico City. And yeah, it was a long travel day, but finally getting there and finally meeting my companion, because he had flown in on a different flight. He's from Indiana, so I guess like it kind of split us. Yeah. And his name was Elder Enns, and he is still one of my great friends. Yeah.
Like, were you just homies right off the bat?
Yeah. We were totally different in every way. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. And
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Dang, if I were to go back in time, I'd maybe run the 3 a.m. Denny's too. I just remember like not eating that whole day. Yeah. And then we got there super late at like 8 p.m. and there was some like cold corn dogs in the cafeteria. I'm like, you're joking right now. I'm like ready to just cry myself to sleep. Dang. So that's cool. So were you you and your companion like get along right off the bat, totally. Or was there any?
No, he was one of my companions, and I had some tough companions on my mission. He was one of the companions where it was like, we just saw eye to eye. We had the same expectations, even though we were so different. Yeah. it was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
And our teachers were awesome too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's so interesting reflecting back on those early months of your mission, because you're so eager to like have those mission experiences. You know, like you hear the stories of your parents or family members or cousins, whatever it is, talking about their stories, and you're like 4 days in and you're already like, oh, I have this coolest mission experience, you know?
Yeah.
But it's so true. In the MTC, for whatever reason, like there's just so many opportunities to grow and to learn, and a lot of funny stuff happens. I feel like just with all it's basically just high school in a lot of ways, or like an EFY.
Right.
But what was it? And if you have any more thoughts on the MTC, you can share them, but talk to me about going from the MTC to Florida.
Right.
Was that pretty crazy? Usually that's an abrupt or
and
awakening.
before I got my mission call, actually, I wanted to serve foreign really bad.
Is that right?
And I actually had like this weird, like spiritual, like but when I was filing my mission papers, I had this spiritual impression that I was going to Italy.
No way.
Like in my heart, I knew. I didn't even have to read the paper. I'm like, I know I'm going to Rome. Like I just knew it. And then I opened it, it was Florida, and I'm like, wait, what?
They got it wrong.
Why did I just like make that up? I don't even know. Still to this day, I don't know. But after spending those 6 weeks in Mexico City, I was very glad to be going back
to the US.
Back to the US. I was ready. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I know that like the Mexico City MTC literally is surrounded by like 12-foot walls.
Oh,
like you don't even get to experience Mexico City.
Yeah, you're like not actually there.
But I'm like, take me to Florida. Yeah. Baby. I was ready. It was awesome.
No, I literally had the same experience. I remember there were some kids in our district or zone in the MTC who got called to the Mexico City mission.
Yeah.
And I just remember like thinking, dude, peace out. Like I'm going to get some Chick-fil-A at the Atlanta airport and then cruise into
that too.
Did you actually?
Universal experience.
No, that went crazy, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about Florida. Getting to Florida. I mean, Florida. Right off, you've already mentioned the people several times.
Yeah.
And so I want to definitely hear about what the people are like. You learned Spanish, obviously, so you have that Hispanic culture. But tell me about getting to Florida, starting your mission.
Getting to Florida. So our flight from Mexico City Mexico City to Atlanta, and Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, it was a disaster. Like our planes kept getting canceled. We had to get on and off and deplane and all this stuff. And so we got there at like midnight on a day when we were supposed to get there at like 4 p.m.
Oh, no way.
And I remember getting off the plane, and my mission president was there with his wife, and he was shaking everybody's hands. And I loved my mission president.
Nice.
And so just like meeting him right then, I was like, I already knew that he was just like going to be such a boss. Yeah. And then we got all of our stuff and we walk out of the airport, and I remember laughing out loud at how humid it was. Literally, it was midnight in Florida, and we walk out and it's September now. And
it's like fall.
Literally.
Like it's cooling down here.
And Mexico City is not humid.
Yeah.
And so when you land in Florida at midnight and it just feels like a wall of water hits you, I laughed out loud. I'm like, I cannot believe this is about to be my life.
Like, this is not real.
It's not. It was so hot and humid, and it was the pitch black night. So yeah, it was awesome.
Just wait until there's full sunlight.
Seriously.
Out knocking doors.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. So that was your first impression.
That was
just how hot and muggy it is.
First impression. Yeah.
What was your first area like?
So my first area was called Coral Springs.
Okay.
So, and it was pretty nice. And the ward is awesome. Like
I love just like watching your the emotion on your face when you say Coral Springs. I can just tell that you just like
take me back.
You just love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I was in an apartment with 4 elders.
Oh, fun.
All of us were Spanish speaking. We split the area.
Cool.
I was Lauderhill South. That's what it was called, Lauderhill.
Okay.
That was the ward that I was in. And it could not have been a better first ward. And my trainer, his name's Elder Baisden, he was I think it's pretty unconventional to do this, but he was a zone leader with somebody else, but they split the zone leaders and both of them trained.
Oh, no
So
way.
me and another Elder Baginski.
So was that the four?
That was the four of us in
Okay,
that
cool.
apartment. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so they were zone leaders, super like just stand-up missionaries,
Yeah.
super obedient.
Yeah.
And we had like the best area.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That just gets you set up for success. If you have a
Totally.
trainer that is obedient and kind of understands that
Yeah.
there's value in going all into the whole
Right.
missionary schedule and all of the weird rules and standards and whatnot.
Yeah.
The sooner you can figure that out, I think the more fun you have on your mission,
Yeah.
like the more joy you find.
Totally.
What was Spanish like for you? Learning a language, was that pretty rough? Did that kind of come quick? Or was that like,
I think it came eventually.
yeah.
When I was my trainer would push me to like try to talk to people in Spanish and like participate in lessons, which was
Nice.
good too.
Yeah.
I remember there was one time we were knocking. So there's obviously a whole bunch of apartment complexes in
Mhm.
Florida. And there were days when we would just knock an entire apartment complex.
Yeah.
Like that was the building that we were going to tackle, is we were going to knock every single door at that building. And there was one time when there was this guy sitting out on his porch and you could tell that he was Hispanic,
Yeah.
Latino. And so my trainer was like, you're going to go up to him and you're going to recite the first vision.
Just off the bat.
Literally, this is probably week 2 of being on the mission.
Well, and that's all that we got in our quiver at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
it's like,
And I remember going up to him. I don't even think I prefaced, because my trainer, he was also just like so funny. He
Yeah.
he would try to like push me, and he'd
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that like I would
it was
like
just a movie for him.
right. And he'd also think that like I wouldn't push back.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I'm like, oh, you don't think that I'll go recite the first vision to him?
Yeah.
Like, watch this. I walk up to this guy and I recite the first vision. There was no preamble to it.
So you didn't even
I literally
say
didn't
what's
even
up?
know what else to say except for I saw a pillar of light in Spanish in my broken like
Be una clona.
exactly.
Dude, that's amazing.
And yeah, so language
Did he get baptized, that guy?
No, he was so confused. He was like waving his hands like
It's like, I don't think you're supposed to be talking to me right now.
yeah, it was good though.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So the language came
Yeah.
eventually.
Nice.
Yeah. And with that trainer,
Yeah.
and the trainer was so okay, I almost said so short. He wasn't that short. He's shorter though, and he's blonde. And by the end of the my time with him, when we would talk with Latinos out in the street or whatever,
Yeah.
contacting, everyone would try to talk to me because I look more Latino than she does.
For sure.
And I'm like, what?
Like, please talk
Like,
to him.
I promise he knows more Spanish than I do.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's too good. Tell me about someone you taught, someone you met and taught. That you can, maybe it's in that first transfer too.
Yeah.
Maybe someone that was cool.
So my first baptism was actually a family, a Guatemalan family.
Yo, Guatemala,
And-
baby.
No, they're the best.
I love Los Chapinas.
Yeah, they're the best. Jose and Manuela were their names. And then it was like 3 of their kids. One of them wasn't of baptism age yet. And then later down the line, there was a brother of Jose or a cousin or something. His name was Manuel, and then Patrona. And like there was this whole like
Yo.
little squad
Yeah.
that we had in this apartment complex. And we would go over there and we would talk with them, and it was so awesome. They came here. I remember walking into their apartment for the first time, and they had just gotten to the United States,
Mhm.
and they didn't have a single piece of furniture in their entire apartment. They would sleep on the floor,
Like not even a bed.
not even a bed, nothing. And I think they had a dining room table that they found on the side of the road. And even in like the circumstances that they were living in, they were so eager to try to give us like Hugo, some juice or like some cookies or something every time we came over. And, it's just like a love. I think that's one of the biggest blessings of a mission is like being able to love these people that you teach. Jose and I don't share anything in common. We didn't even share our first language in common. His first language wasn't even Spanish either.
Was that right?
It was a Guatemalan dialect. And they were learning Spanish. And so we were both kind of like trying to communicate and be there, with each other. And we would spend this time together and try to talk about God and, the plan of salvation with them, that all of this life is for a bigger purpose. And I don't know, just being able to feel that love. I felt like I was like a conduit of like love from, I knew that they were Heavenly Father's children. And so I think that's one of my most tender, moments is being able to see them progress in the gospel and finally get baptized.
That's so cool.
It was
and
awesome.
That was your first couple of transfers?
That was still, I think my second transfer. Wow. Yeah.
See, to have an experience like that early on in your mission it's such a blessing.
Totally.
Because you realize why you're doing what you're doing. When you're able to see what Jesus Christ can do for someone, and in your case, like a family. Totally. Like when you witness that firsthand, it's indescribable. Like there literally isn't words to describe it. Yeah. And it not only, blesses them and sets them up for success in their life, but what it does to you. Yeah. Like you said, how you're kind of the conduit of that love. We're as a missionary, you're called to teach and to preach the gospel, but a lot of the time we're just out there learning and just like having these experiences that are shaping us into better people. Yeah. Most of the time. And it's funny because the people that we meet and teach, they don't realize how big of a role they play in our refinement and our discipleship. Right. Yeah. What other experiences you have? I'd love to just like kind of rattle off a couple people that you met, if it's funny stories, inspiring stories, whatever you got. So and then I'll pry for a couple stories that I know I want to get out.
Right. So serving in Florida, every year there's hurricane season. That's an inevitable and so for months at a time, there will be like just boarded up windows. Even like people will put up these metal shutters on their windows just so that if a storm does happen, like their windows don't shatter or something like that.
So and when is it?
I think it technically starts in June and then it ends like in October. Okay. So it's a good chunk of time. Yeah. 4 months of hurricane watch out. I got to serve in Key West and there was a tropical storm. And usually what will happen is that all the missionaries will get like if the storm is big enough, all the missionaries will get put in like one of the chapels together, just so it's not like a risk having everybody all scattered out throughout
in cars.
Yeah, exactly. But this was just a tropical storm. So, and hurricanes are measured on wind speed, not like how much water.
So what define tropical storm?
Tropical storm.
If someone were to ask and didn't know.
Tropical storm is something that's not quite moving fast enough to be a hurricane. Okay. But it still can be holding.
It's like a baby hurricane.
Right. It can still be holding a lot of water in it. And so I was in Key West, which is just this baby little island, off. I think it's 2 miles wide and 4 miles long. No. And it was just me in this.
And is that your whole area probably?
Yeah. I'd assume. Yeah.
Cool.
And Tropical Storm Sally comes through, and it has
a name. That's how we know the story's going to be good.
Yeah. And we lived in the backyard of our bishop. He had a tool shed that he converted into like this livable space for the missionaries, so that the missionaries could be down there. And we lived in the backyard of Bishop Rangel. and Tropical Storm Sally comes through. We had no idea it was even happening. And it was like the proselyting day was over and my companion and I were going to go to Wendy's, right?
As you do.
As one does.
Grab a 4 for $4.
Right. And so we're in line at Wendy's on this tiny little island and it starts raining like I have never seen rain before in my entire life. Like, and we were the only ones even out on the road. Nobody told us the tropical storm was coming.
You guys are just like, why isn't anyone out here?
And so we get our food, whatever. We walk back to our little shed in the back.
So you walked there?
We drove. So we drove, we parked, we walked.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
And we were walking back to where we lived, completely flooded. Just literally the amount of water on, and we were like running in the rain to get to with Wendy's in hand. And
Wendy's.
Then the power shuts off. Like the power gets cut on the whole island. And we're like, what is even going on? And so we go and we talk with the bishop and everything, but it was wild. That was like I would say my one like tropical storm experience there. Was just getting flooded out in Key West.
Was there like inches of water, feet of water?
Inches. I have a video. I should send it to you.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Of us running. Our bishop came to our little sea shed. Yeah. The shed in the back was like, come on, we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And so we're running from the shed into his house and like everything turned out to be fine. Yeah. But it was just like totally taken by surprise.
Do those like kind of come and go quick? Or did it rain like through the night? Or
I think that one rained
really
through the night.
Sally, man.
Sally, the killer, literally. Yeah, but it's kind of wild.
Dang,
just
dude.
There
well,
at the mercy.
While we're on the topic of, fast food restaurants and food getting potentially ruined by the circumstances you're in. Right. I'd love to hear about good old, was it Checkers? Or Rallies?
Checkers. So this is
this one's scary.
This is still in my first area.
Is it really?
Everything.
So with your trainer?
Yes. I was with Elder Basin still. And Checkers, if you don't know what Checkers is.
Yeah. Paint the picture for me, bro.
It is this greasy, nasty fast food chain burger joint. I think their burger is called the Big Buford Burger. And you just order like the Big Buford and like these fries. And we would pass it often. Yeah. Because it was on this like main road. Mm-hmm. It's called Sample Road, if you wanted to know. Sample Road in Coral Springs.
Sample Road.
And I would always say to my trainer, like, I want to try Checkers. Yeah. And Elder Basin was like, no, you don't.
That's nasty.
Like, we don't need that, because, and it's hard too, because that area that I was in, the members were so awesome. Yeah. They wanted to feed us all the time. So there wasn't like, let's just go to Checkers time. And so it actually happened after, Marcos and Patrona got baptized.
Oh, so that family.
Yes. So they was like the family extended get baptized. Yeah. And my trainer, it was his last transfer. He was going to go home in like 3 days. And
so this is the celebratory.
And I said, let's go get Checkers. As like, there's no better time than right now. Yeah. We're on our way home from having a baptism. It's a Saturday night. Like it was just, and he was going to leave. I wanted to try it, So we go to Checkers and we order whatever. We actually talk with the guy because we're in suits, full suits, because of the baptism that we had just had. We talk with the guy who was like, why are you wearing suits? Buford? With the one who was chefing up the Buford. Okay. Yeah. He's talking with him at the window. He was interested in why we were wearing suits at like, I don't even know what time it was on a Saturday night. Yeah. And we were like, this church, we had like this like contact moment even right then. Nice. We were like, this couldn't,
in the drive-through.
Yeah, this couldn't even go any better. We actually parked our car and walked. This is essential to the story. We parked our car and then we walked to this order window Okay.
Like
it's
drive-through?
outside. Well,
Like,
no,
did you-
I think it's
Or
for
okay. It's like a drive-in.
right.
vibe.
Yeah.
Like
You
outdoor
order at the
seating.
window. Yeah.
Okay,
There's outdoor seating.
I don't know why that took me a minute.
And so
Already crying.
we talk with him there, whatever. He hands us our bags of food. Okay.
Boofer
walking.
bags.
And I got the nasty burger, the nasty fries, the nasty shake. Like I wanted to try it all.
Just
You know
hyped.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And in Florida, it's also essential to know that if there's not a building or roads, there's like plants. There's like it's a tropical, and it's not like you're in Utah,
It's like Pop Tropica vibes.
Exactly. And so there were like palms and like I don't even know. So I'm trying to paint the picture as best I can. We order from this
Please
window
do.
right over here.
Okay.
Our car is parked over here.
Okay.
Over here is Sample Road.
Okay.
Over here, jungle.
Yeah.
Okay. We're walking from the Checkers window to our car, and we're like halfway there. We're almost there. And I look into the jungle and I see somebody. And at first I think he's like, well, he is coming toward us. But I'm like, what? He's like stumbling. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Something's not right though. And he's coming toward us.
Yeah.
And he's like just stumbling over himself toward us. And
Like
he's moving
going
pretty
fast.
fast. Yes, he's moving
How
pretty
far
fast.
away is he?
Like from here, I don't even know, to the wall right there.
So close.
Close.
Yeah.
But he was down. He was hunched over himself. Okay. When he gets about the TV, he stands up and it's dark. It's nighttime.
Yeah.
He's wearing a white shirt
Mm-hmm.
and he stands up covered in blood.
Are
Okay.
you kidding me?
And he's moving toward us at a quick pace. And so I'm like, what is
my
going on?
gosh.
I'm like stunned.
Yeah.
I couldn't even like move. I don't even remember. Everything
Is he-
happened so
But
fast.
it's like to the side of you. Like your car is here.
right. Car is here. To the side of us is the
Okay,
jungle.
cool.
Yes. And he comes out of the
the
jungle.
jungle.
Yes. And then he stands up and I see that he's covered in blood. Like covered in blood on his white shirt.
Oh my God.
And he's like, well, and he's screaming. I won't scream now, but he's like, run. The guy behind me is effing crazy. And there were like a bunch of other expletives in there too.
Yeah.
And then my gaze shifts from him to the person right behind him.
No way.
And he was holding a knife. He was literally chasing him with a knife. He had just been stabbed and he had a hoodie on that was like cinched up tight. And we're still holding our Checkers food. And we start sprinting down Sample Road. And this,
So not to your car.
not to our
'Cause
car,
that was-
because I don't know. I guess in our minds, it was like it would take too long to
Yeah. no,
unlock.
you want to get
in.
as far
Yeah.
away as you can.
And so we just sprint down this road as fast as we can with Checkers in hand. I didn't even let go. And we're in full suits running as fast as we can. The guy is behind us who's just been stabbed. And the guy chasing him was behind him. Yes, the stabber. And I don't even know how far we ran. It wasn't super far, but we peel off into this like strip mall behind this car. The guy who had been stabbed, the guy in the white shirt, he had peeled off into a neighborhood and we just kept going a little more straight. And the guy with the knife followed him, luckily. Like,
Good.
and anyway, we called 911 in the scuffle of it all. Like, our food is cold. You know what I mean?
Checkers is a bust.
Checkers is a bust. Food is cold. Milkshake spilt on the floor. We call 911. They within minutes, there were like 10 police cars.
Oh my goodness.
They shut the whole neighborhood down. They go in and they search for this guy.
Holy cow.
And they police interview me and my companion.
You guys are in your seats.
And we're like, what? We had to like explain exactly what we saw. It was just us
Yeah.
who like witnessed
Oh my God.
everything. And so, yeah, we handed them our driver's license and they're like, we'll contact you if we have any updates or if we need anything else from you.
Yeah.
But you guys are free to go. And so we went back to our apartment. No milkshake because it spilled on the ground, but we had our burger and fries. I didn't eat it. It had been hours. Still to this day, I've never had checkers.
Never had checkers.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I'm sure you're a little hesitant to go back there.
Crazy.
Did they ever follow up with you? Do they know what happened?
So I actually don't know, because I think they tried to contact us with our numbers that were attached to our driver's license.
Yeah.
And those phones are at home.
Who knows where?
Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness.
I have no idea what happened, but it was wild. I've never felt that much adrenaline before in my life.
I'm sure. That sounds absolutely terrifying.
It was scary.
Yeah. I'm glad that.
And then we tried to explain, because we lived with two other elders, and they're like, "Why are you home so late?"
Yeah.
We tried to like even explain what had just happened to us, and they didn't even believe us.
Serious?
Yes. They're like, "Nah."
Like, you're capping?
And it happened.
It did.
Oh my life. It was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the perfect example of the email. I don't know if I read, I don't know. I just remember reading your emails and literally being in tears on my mission. And because you got just as animated in your emails as you do, which I love.
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to take too much more time, but we can go one of two directions. One, I mean, it's the more funny one, but I'd love to hear the story of when you got hit by a car, but then I'd also love to cover some more spiritual stuff as well.
Maybe I'll try to make the me getting hit by a car quick.
Okay.
This is now in the same area. I'm not
covering
even kidding.
the first like 2 months of your.
But this is, I know.
Yeah.
And every day felt like something like this happened. And so every area had its own. You know, being in South Florida, I don't even know what's in the air over there.
Yeah.
But the Florida man, the crazy, the everything was going on. But so in my elder basin had now went home.
Okay.
So transfer 3.
Number
now.
3.
Yes. Okay. Elder Schneider and I were
Schneider.
companions. Yes. Luke Schneider. And he is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Luke so much. And the whole story is going to be really long, but I'm going to
you're good. Take your time, bro.
We didn't have a car. And so that's essential to the story. Whereas in the Checker story, we had our car.
Right.
Whatever. Between then and when Elder Schneider came into town, things happened. We didn't have our car.
No more car.
We knocked into this locksmith who thought he could unlock our car and actually ended up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The car was in the shop. Okay. And we were on our bikes. Yeah. And our area was pretty big.
Yeah.
And it was a P day. And we had to bike. Yes. We had to bike about an hour to this lesson.
Okay.
And so we're biking. We barely get 10 minutes into
so this is ride. In the evening?
This is in the evening.
Like after you're
also
done.
Essential, yes.
Okay, yeah.
So, and it's in November now. November 2019. Daylight savings had just happened. And so when P-Day's over at like 6, it's dark.
It's dark
outside.
Yeah.
So we were biking and it was dark.
Yeah.
And we're on our merry little way. And all of a sudden, and I would always, Elder Schneider would always lead in the bikes. I hated being on a bike so bad. And I was pretty privileged. For a lot of my mission, I didn't
need the bike much.
Yeah, we didn't have bikes, but in this case we did. Yeah. And so Elder Schneider was up front and I was just, coasting behind him, helmets on, sweaty as ever. Did
you have your reflective vest on too?
Not the reflective vest, but that probably would have helped in this story. And all of a sudden, as I'm biking and we're on this like windier road, it doesn't have a lot of light.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I am flying through the air. Literally, I am ejected from my bike and I have no idea what just happened. I hit the ground and I'm like, what? I look around, my bike is like crumpled and I'm like, what just happened? I think I just got hit by a car. And so I yell at Elder Schneider. I'm like,
Oh my God.
stop. I just got hit by a car.
Oh
He
my
had pulled over because he thought that 2 cars had gotten into a collision. With one
Oh, real
another.
like because of he heard it.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, I guess the sound of my bike or like
Your
me
back.
being hit with the car.
You bouncing off the hood of a
Literally.
car.
And so I'm yelling at him to come back and help me out.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, he's coming back and I'm laying there on like the shoulder of the road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't move my legs. And I was pissed. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Because I literally thought that I had just been paralyzed in a car
gosh.
accident. And I was like, I'm 20 years old and
Like instantly these thoughts are already.
I'm 20 years
just-
old and
yeah.
now my legs don't work.
Yeah.
And I was mad. I'm
Oh,
like,
for
how
sure.
could this even have happened?
Like, yeah.
And the car that hit me didn't stop initially. So they kept going, this car. And Elder Schneider's coming back. He's like trying to help me. He's trying to lift me up off the ground and
Yeah.
like whatever. And I'm like, stop touching me right
Yeah.
now. Like, call
You don't-
somebody, like
yeah.
get help. I don't even know. And I'm laying there. He's talking on the phone with the police. They come by and the police do, and they're like, "Can you walk?" And I'm like, at this point, I did have feeling back in like my toes, and
Oh,
so I
nice.
knew. I was like, never been more grateful.
Yeah.
To like be able to wiggle my toes. I'm like, oh,
Good.
blessing. I'll never take this for granted, you know? And the police are like, yeah, you are not in a good state.
Yeah.
We're going to get you an ambulance.
Oh my gosh.
So an ambulance shows up,
Yeah.
and before the ambulance does, the person who had hit me realizes. So what happened was their side view mirror had hit my tailbone and they were going about 40 miles an hour. And so that hit me and I flew off. Their side view mirror gets knocked off,
Right.
off of the car. And they kept going for a couple
Like,
lights.
oh,
but
my mirror's gone.
Right. Like
Something
they're gonna
must have
come.
happened.
They're gonna come see what happened. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's this Brazilian lady. She gets out of her car, and she is hysterically like bawling because we learn later she followed us to the hospital, and she's like a super awesome
Oh wow.
lady. But what had happened to her was in Brazil, she had lost a son in a biking accident when he was 19.
You're kidding.
And so now she sees me almost his same age, you know.
Yeah.
I was 19. Yeah, I was 19. I think I said I was
Oh
20
my
earlier.
goodness,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was 19. And she was just devastated that like she had thought that she seriously hurt me.
Right.
And I was hurting, but like
Yeah.
I wasn't, you know,
Dead.
I'm here.
Yeah. Right.
And so yeah, she was unwell. But I end up getting in the ambulance
Yeah.
on a stretcher,
Oh
on like
my
a little
goodness.
stretcher thing.
Yeah.
And they take me over there, and it was just a whole thing. We had a Miracle Monday thing,
Yeah.
a phone call as a mission every Monday.
Yeah.
And my mission president obviously gets tipped off that I'm in the hospital and got hit by a car.
Yeah.
And so he comes to the Coral Springs Hospital, and in the miracle call that we have after like the day's over, you know, it's like an invitation to find a miracle in the 3 hours between like
Cool.
6 and 9 after P Day. He's like, everybody please pray for Elder Campbell because
Yeah.
he's just been hit by a car. And they do x-rays, everything, and nothing, like honestly miraculous that nothing was broken. I was just bruised
Yeah.
on my tailbone so bad,
Probably couldn't do anything.
and all up my spine.
Yeah.
Like in the mirror I'd look, and my back
Your
was
back
like
was just
green,
oh.
purple and green in the healing process. It was so painful.
Oh.
But yeah, that also happened.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So we're like 3-4 months into your mission, and
I was like, how is this even real?
I mean, all 3 of these stories you've shared were in that time span.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I apologize for laughing at some of it. I just love the way you tell the story, and I feel like I kind of can because you're okay,
right?
Luckily, but on a more serious or spiritual side of it, there are missionaries and people who aren't as lucky,
totally,
or maybe it's worse. Maybe they do get paralyzed, or and so I think, although those crazy, inhumane things happened, it's evidence that God looks out for his missionaries.
Totally.
And we may not know why right now, but there's reasons to those kinds of experiences.
Yeah.
I'd love to end on maybe a positive note, maybe later in the mission,
right.
Someone that you met or taught, and then maybe tying in a little bit of Preach My Gospel, and then we'll wrap up. If there's anything out of Preach My Gospel that you found helpful during your mission, that we can refer people listening to. But
totally.
Yeah, kind of.
So later in my mission, we'll finally get past Coral Springs. Yes. Coral Springs and I were like this. We know each other very well. Later in my mission, I served a lot of my time in the Miami South Stake. I was there for...
Sounds lit.
Yeah, it was lit. It was awesome. And I was there for so long that within areas within the Miami South Stake, I'd see the stake president, his name was Presidente Diaz, and he'd be like, why are you still here? And I'm like, listen, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm actually not in that area anymore, but I got transferred to somewhere else within the Miami South Stake.
I see.
And so being there was, you just get to know all of the members.
Yeah.
Spending that much time with all of them, even if it was like a little bit disconnected. I would go on transfers and see old members that I had served with, or old friends that I had the opportunity to baptize to help progress.
Yeah.
I think if there was one person that I was meant to serve my mission for, her name was Anna, and she was in the Miami South Stake. Anna Colon, she's the best. Sincerely, like one of my best friends still. Wow. And she's from Venezuela, and we just had, I don't even know how to like put it into terms, like in a podcast, like the kind of relationship or the feelings that we had when we were, with each other. And when she finally got baptized, and it was hard for her, everybody that you meet on the mission has different things that they're battling with, or different experiences that they're going through, different perspectives that they bring. And so I'd say Anna and I, she would make us arepas and cachapas and all this stuff, and we'd have.
You're speaking to my soul right now. The Venezuelan culture is just unmatched.
The best. And it was also really nice to see the ward that she was in rally around her. She didn't just come to church and then be like, okay, yeah, I'll be baptized, whatever. It was a whole like process of her becoming a part of that ward family, like for real.
Wow.
And I wish I had like a singular story that was like,
that's awesome.
But it's super tender just to be able to reflect on.
So was she, did she have family, or was she?
It was her and her daughter.
Okay.
Her husband, part of what was hard with her situation is that she had a desire to be baptized and to be a part of the ward family, but she had a husband who wasn't very supportive.
Wasn't stoked on it.
And so it was finding a way, to have it all work out, to have a balance and have her,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so, you said how, everyone you meet and you teach and you come to love, everyone kind of has a story. Everyone has their struggles. Everyone has the things that they've dealt with in their life. But if they're from a foreign country and immigrated to the US, like every single one of them has a crazy story.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, all of the Spanish speakers and Latino people that I taught and met, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, they'd tell me their stories of how, they sacrificed everything to come here, just them and maybe one other person, or them by themselves, and they're sending money back to help support their family. It's just such an eye-opening thing to witness and see, having been raised here in Utah or even just in the US, and just considering how blessed we are to just
seriously
not deal with those same set of problems. We have our own struggles, and not saying there aren't other hard things, but it gives you so much respect for those kinds of people. And I think that's the reason why they have so much gratitude and so much appreciation for life and for family.
Yeah.
One thing you touched on is how integrated Anna became with the members and the Ward family you referenced a couple times.
Yeah.
What was that? Preach My Gospel talks a ton about, working with members and involving them, because I've said this on this podcast a couple times, like, it's super easy to convert someone to you. I think, like, you can be a nice kid, a funny kid, and just like, someone can join the church because they like the missionaries, but then you get transferred and they're hung to dry,
Right.
And so, getting them involved with the members and having friends and family kind of accept them. What's your take on that? How did you use that in your missionary work, and what did that do for you?
I think being in South Florida, I met people from like every Spanish speaking country that there could be, you know? And so within the ward, there were Venezuelan women who I knew obviously could relate to Anna more than I ever could.
Yeah.
Even though Anna and I are like best friends, I didn't have similar experiences. Yeah. And so I think just being able to perceive the stage of life that they're at, or where they're from, cultural similarities that they share with people. Yeah. And just really introducing them that aspect of the church. It's like, it's the gospel, but it's also the people that you can associate with. These are this could be your new community that you're a part of, you know, people that you see weekly, oftentimes even more. And so after I'm gone, I've been gone from that area for a long time. Those people are still there, and they're still with
helping each other out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I think just being able to tap into and not being afraid to ask for help. Yeah. I think oftentimes missionaries don't want to be a burden to, or at least maybe I felt that. I'm like, I know that these people are very busy, and just to ask them to spend an hour of their time meeting this random stranger that we just like think might come to church. Yeah. It's a big ask. Yeah. But I feel like as missionaries, you are entitled to make big asks. Yeah. And you should, because the blessings that come from that are just too great not to. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's so true. And it really is the most effective way to help people just come to know Jesus Christ, and to live his gospel, and to enjoy the blessings that it has to offer. Because, there's a lot of situations where I think retention is something that a lot of missions struggle with. Yeah. People get baptized and not really have the support system, or even the understanding or the knowledge to really keep living that way, and you can't blame a lot of people. It's easy to, when you're raised in the gospel, it's like, it's kind of first nature to you, right? And it all seems so normal. But in a lot of situations with people from foreign countries, or people who are just like by themselves, they're independent, and they don't have that support system around them, it doesn't surprise me that, they don't go to church, or they stop doing those things. And so working with members is a huge thing there. So they updated Preach My Gospel recently, and there's a whole chapter called Unite with Members, chapter 13. It's the last one. I'm just going to read this top thing. under build relationship with local leaders and members. This is on page 220. It says local church leaders and members are your partners in God's work. Build relationships that help you work together to bring the restored gospel to Heavenly Father's children. These relationships can bless you for the rest of your life.
Totally. Yeah.
Speak to that. I mean, you've been home from your mission.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years now. How have those relationships blessed you?
So I had the privilege of going back to my mission.
Cool.
Recently. Well, not super recently. After returning home, what year was that? Must have been 2022. So I was only home for a little more than a year.
Okay.
And I went back.
Nice.
And just being able to reunite with those members, it was like no time had passed at all.
Yeah.
I loved seeing them, and it was a Monday night and I got to go to like a family home evening. And seriously, in the next life, I know that we're going to all see each other and like rejoice because we just have established that relationship. That's so, you can't even like put it into words. And it's hard because obviously life goes on and I'm not there in Florida, strengthening the relationships I have with them all the time.
Yeah.
But I know I could reach out to any of them and they'd be there for me. And similar, if they were ever in Utah, wanted to see me, I would jump for joy, at the opportunity.
Drop everything.
Seriously, because they're just the best.
Yeah.
Seriously, the best people that I've ever met.
That's so cool to hear, and what a blessing it is to be able to stay connected, with technology. You can call and text and social media and whatnot. But I loved how you started off, or kind of your reasoning behind going on a mission was a lot of, there's important people in my life who served missions, and they have these cool stories that help shape their life. Like I'm gonna go get those experiences for me.
Yeah.
And it's cool to be able to speak to that, several years after and say that it truly did.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, for those of you watching, that's kind of the invitation of this whole project and this podcast is to deeply consider if you're of age and willing to go on a mission, because these experiences are waiting for you. And there are people out in Florida, out in
if you're lucky,
Africa,
Florida.
or in Rome if you're super lucky.
right.
that need you and that you need them.
Seriously.
It really is. You're on the receiving end of it so much when you go on a mission.
But I think that's one of like the biggest like paradoxes of like missionary work.
Absolutely.
Is like, you're not there for you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like a selfish thing, but because you're there for all of these other people, you receive the blessings too.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I don't know. It's just like seriously incredible. That
it's so true.
As you serve, as you give of yourself, you come to know everything for yourself. Even though that wasn't like what you went there for, you're going there to serve and to be a missionary, but you become something else.
Yeah. No, that's so true, man. So many good takeaways,
Seriously.
bro. Thanks for sitting down and chatting with me. This means a lot to me that you'd take the time to do it, because inspires my faith and my motivation to go and try to be a good example like you. But dude, thank you so much.
Of course. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
You're the man. We'll do this again sometime.
We only covered the first
dude,
couple transfers.
We're 3 months in. Stay tuned for the remaining 20 months of his mission. But no, that is Carson serving in the Fort Lauderdale Mission.
Yep.
Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out.